This is an iHeart podcast.
You know who it is, Brandon Kyle Goodman. But this Pride Month, call me Messy Mother. On my podcast, Tell Me Something Messy, I'm diving into all the juicy stories and sizzling hot tea that'll make you want to live your life liberated and free. Nothing is off the table for our messy kikis. Plus, I'll be joined by star-studded guests like T.S. Madison and dragging messy stories out of guests like the one and only Katya. Ooh, I can't wait to get messy with you. Listen to Tell Me Something Messy on the iHeartRadio app, Apple Podcasts, or wherever you listen to podcasts.
Show me how good it can get today, God, and show the rest of the world what we already know. It can't get no better than being hella black, hella queer, and hella Christian. My name is Joseph Reeves. I am the creator and host of Hella Black, Hella Queer, Hella Christian, a fully black, fully queer, fully human, fully divine podcast from iHeartMedia. To Hella Black, Hella Queer, Hella Christian on the iHeartRadio app, Apple Podcasts, or wherever you get your podcasts.
If you've ever wondered what diseases, medieval pee tests, and cocktails have in common, you're in the right place.
On our show, This Podcast Will Kill You, we explore the wild world of diseases, their history, biology, and impact today. Vaccines are in part a victim of their own success. They have been so effective in preventing disease and death that we take them for granted.
New episodes drop every Tuesday on the Exactly Right Network.
Listen to This Podcast Will Kill You on the iHeartRadio app, Apple Podcasts, or wherever you get your podcasts.
Money doesn't have to be complicated. It just has to make sense. Hey, it's Victoria Devine from the She's on the Money podcast. I know talking about money can feel intimidating. Trust me, with the right tips, anyone can take control of their finances. Let me help you take the stress out of managing your finances and provide you with the tools to thrive. From down under to the US, I'll show you how to make your money work harder for you, no matter your goals. Search for She's on the Money now on the free iHeart app or wherever you get your podcasts.
So what happened at Chappaquiddick? Well, it really depends on who you talk to.
There are many versions of what happened in 1969 when a young Ted Kennedy drove a car into a pond
and left a woman behind to drown.
Chappaquiddick is a story of a tragic death and how the Kennedy machine took control. Every week, we go behind the headlines and beyond the drama of America's royal family.
Listen to United States of Kennedy starting June 30th on the iHeartRadio app, Apple Podcasts, or wherever you get your podcasts.
Time now for today's Strawberry Letter. And if you need advice on relationships, on dating, work, sex, parenting, and more, please submit your Strawberry Letter to steveharveyfm.com and click Submit Strawberry Letter. We could be reading your letter live on the air, just like we're going to read this one right here, right now.
Right now. Buckle up and hold on tight. We got it for you. Here it is. Strawberry Letter.
Thank you, nephew. Subject, the child won't understand this. Dear Steve and Shirley, I am a 34-year-old single mother. I have had the same best friend for 20 years, and she is my daughter's godmother. My daughter's father died when she was 2 years old, and my best friend said she would always be there for my child. Well, she has not kept her promise. My daughter is 7 years old now, and she has a spicy personality and behavioral problems. She acts out when she's upset, and she has a problem with being disrespectful to adults. I've tried everything to discipline her, but nothing has worked. This past Saturday, her godmother took her to a birthday party for me so I could rest and nurse a cold. Within 30 minutes of leaving, my child walked back in, yelled at the top of her lungs at her godmother. The godmother said that as soon as she got to the party, this child of mine insulted the birthday girl and told her that her hair was a mess. Her party decorations were terrible and her house was stinky. My best friend said she was so embarrassed, she dragged my daughter out of the party, kicking and screaming. I know my friend was very upset, but I thought as an adult she should have handled it. A few hours later, I called my best friend to see if she cooled off. She said she wasn't mad, but she is done with my daughter for good. She denounced her title as the godmother of my child.
Man.
I didn't even know you could do that. She doesn't want my child to interfere with our friendship. I'm like, what? Who does that? I tried reasoning with her, but she kept saying that she's not changing her mind. It's going to devastate my my child because she loves her godmother. So how will I tell my child that her godmother quit her? I'm so upset. Well, I mean, really, can you blame her, though? I mean, no one likes a bad butt child. Just no one likes bad babies type kids. No one likes them but their parents. Sorry, and you're her mom. So, I mean, truth be told, her godmother might come back if little goddaughter, is better behaved. But I just got to ask, where is she getting this attitude? I mean, at 7 years old, what kind of little friends does she have? She's disrespectful, as she showed at the party. She's unruly. She's way too grown. She's just a bad little kid. I mean, what is wrong? Are you doing your part as mom?
You ain't say what I want you to say.
As her mother, okay. As her mother, I think you got to know that this is more than what you call a spicy personality. I think you're overlooking this whole thing because she's your daughter. I think you just can't wait for the godmother to come over and discipline your child. The stuff that your godmother does every once in a while, every now and then, that's not going to stick. That's not going to stay with your child. It really isn't. And she could very well be through with your daughter because your daughter did act up. The question is, why is she doing all this? And if it's going to devastate your child so much because she loves her godmother, maybe, that would reel your daughter in and make her behave better. But I think the best thing to do is to get your daughter into some kind of therapy right away. I know people will disagree with me. Some are just going to say you should whoop her little behind.
Hello.
I know people are going to say that. But, I mean, she's only 7. She's only 7.
You ain't get your...
They beat me at 7.
At 4? Hell. I'm sorry.
But anyway, that's what I think about this because, she suffered major loss. I mean, even though she was only 2 years old, you're a single mom. There is no man in the home. She could just be acting out. So get her into some therapy. Okay, Steve?
Please. Please, okay. Uncle Steve.
Oh, I thought you had more. Oh, okay. Okay. Everybody ready?
Yes, sir.
Yes. We're ready.
You're a 34-year-old single mother. You got this best friend you done had for 20 years. She's your daughter's godmother. That's a given title. That's just, when you somebody godmother, godfather, that's just a title. You ain't really supposed to do nothing. Not really. Really, dog. This is just, you don't really supposed to do nothing. It's just, that's your godmother, that's your god cousin, that's your god brother. Yeah. You ain't really supposed to do nothing. All right. She said, her father died when she was 2, and your best friend said she'd always be there for your child. Everybody say that. Don't nobody mean that. Oh, God. Let's just go and be real. Who mean that? I'll always be there for your child. That means I'll always know them. Her name Brenda? Yes, Brenda. Bashikwa? Yes, Bashikwa. Well, she has not kept her promise. My daughter is 7 years old now. She has a spicy personality and behavioral problems. Pump your brakes right there. 7-year-old with a spicy personality and behavioral problems. You know what that means? This little heifer crazy. 7-year-old little heifer crazy. No, ain't no Steve nothing. She acts out when she's upset, and here go the big one. She got a problem with being disrespectful to adults. You know why? Because she's been allowed.
Hello.
Yeah,
now, when I come back, here come the truth.
All right. All right, we're going to have part 2 of Steve's response coming up at 23 after the hour. Subject of today's Strawberry Letter, the child won't understand this. We'll be back right after this.
Bless up, it's DJ Khaled.
Hey, what up? This your boy Chris Brown.
Hey, this is Keisha Cole.
God's people, this is Kirk Franklin.
Hey, this is John Legend, and you're listening to the Steve Harvey Morning Show.
You're listening to the Steve Harvey Morning Show.
There's a recent ZipRecruiter survey that says 76% of all employers plan to hire for 2025 this year. And if you're hiring, add ZipRecruiter's latest feature, Zip Intro, to your plan. It's easy. You just pick a time and Zip Intro finds and schedules qualified candidates for you. Try it for free at ZipRecruiter.com/strawberry. That's ZipRecruiter.com/strawberry. All right, Steve, come on. Let's recap today's Strawberry Letter subject. The child won't understand this.
Well,
what?
34-year-old lady got a friend, been their friend 20 years. Got a little girl. The little girl father died when she was 2. The lady that's been her friend is her godmother. We've discussed this. That don't mean nothing.
That title, that term.
That's just a throwaway line. That's like, hey, Happy New Year. Anybody give a how your year go? We just got this year ourselves.
You're so wrong.
Ain't that happy, buddy?
Yeah, Happy New Year, Happy New Year.
It's just tradition.
Yeah, it's just tradition.
Don't nobody really care.
How are you today? I give it. No, I really don't want to know how you do today. I want you to say I'm fine. I don't want to hear about your problems. Godmother, Godfather, same thing. How you doing? How you feel today? We don't really want to know that. Now, she said she'd always be there for the little girl, and she ain't kept her promise. The little girl, 7 years old, she got a spicy personality and behavioral problems. That means this little heifer crazy. She acts out when she's upset. Okay. And she has a problem with being disrespectful to adults. And you know why she has a problem with being disrespectful to adults? Because she has been allowed to be disrespectful to adults and ain't been no consequence. I have tried everything to discipline her, but nothing has worked. Oh, no, you ain't. Oh, no, you ain't. Oh, you ain't did everything. If you did everything, you wouldn't be writing this letter. You've tried some things. You ain't done everything.
What has she tried, Steve?
Oh, time out. That ain't work. Told her she couldn't go outside. Don't nobody give it about that no more.
That's true.
So what?
That's true. Don't nobody go outside.
Go to your room. Hell, that's where my computer at. I'm good.
I'm cool, yeah.
Yeah, I'm not gonna get you nothing for Christmas, heifer. I got a whole year for you to change your mind.
Yeah.
I've tried everything, but nothing has worked. You ain't tried everything, but let's move on. Let's move on. This past Saturday, her godmother took her to a birthday party for me. Now, keep in mind who took her now.
Godmommy.
Her godmother. The throwaway title. Now, this ain't the mama took her. Her grandmother, her godmother took her. This party for me so I could rest and nurse her cold. 30 minutes after leaving, my child walked back in the house yelling at the top of her lungs at her godmother. You don't bring me back to this party. I just went to the party. How you gonna bring me back home, heifer? You don't bring me back home. I brought you back home because you can't drive. You back in this house because you don't know how to act. The godmother said as soon as she got to the party, this child of mine insulted the birthday girl, told her that her hair was a mess, her party decorations was terrible, and her house was stinking. We got to get this heifer out of here. See, the godmother said, I got to get this little ignorant heifer out this woman's house before she hear this and kill everybody in here. It wasn't the little girl she was concerned about. It was the little girl who mama threw the party that had invited your daughter over to the house that ain't bought a gift. You know why? Because she funky and she got a bad attitude. So she just over there insulting some people's house. So your best friend says she was so embarrassed she drug her daughter out the party kicking and screaming like she was supposed to. Because you know why? She the godmother. She ain't got to invest no more of her day in this little heifer. Your little girl crazy. I know my friend was very upset, but I thought as an adult she could have handled it better. Oh, you talking about handled it better to the little girl that's disrespectful to adults.
Right.
You thought she could have handled it better? I agree with you right there. I think she could have handled it better too. Think of what I'd have did as soon as she said something about the little girl messed up hair. I'd have messed her hair. Now you're both standing here with your hair all over your head. How you like that? And then I'd have said something about her dress. I'd have threw punch on her dress. Now everybody's outfit messed up. And I'd have stuffed one of them balloons in her little ragged ass mouth because she keep running it. That's how I'd have handled it. Oh, we'd have stayed at the party because I'm not going to the party and don't get no cake. So we're not leaving this party right here. I'm going to get some cake. I like going to kids' party because kids' party have good cake.
I love
it. Yes, they do. Because some of they have a little crazy writing on it, but it be red velvet on the inside. So I don't know why you think we finna leave this party about this cake. I'd have beat your daughter and bought her back. But see, you know why she don't beat your daughter? Because she just a godmother. Now, she was the grandmother. She'd have brought your little baby back home with a couple wounds on her. But no, she brought this little crazy heifer back. A few hours later, I called my best friend to see if she'd cool off. She said she wasn't mad, but she's done with my daughter for good. I'm through. I don't want to be the godmother. Anyway, I ain't never want to be the godmother no way. But you said you'd be there for life. This far as I go, I ain't be there no more. I've been there for 7 years. I ain't finna be there no more. I'm just a godmother. I ain't finna be it no more. I will finish this letter when I come back because I got more to say. I got more to say. Go ahead, shit.
All right. Post your comments on today's Strawberry Letter at Steve Harvey FM on Instagram and Facebook. Don't forget to check out the Strawberry Letter podcast on demand. Coming up, Steve has part 3 of the Strawberry Letter. The subject is the child won't understand this. And we'll be back right after this. You're listening to the Steve Harvey Morning Show.
Just like great shoes, great books take you places. Through unforgettable love stories and into conversations with characters you'll never forget.
I think any good romance, it gives me this feeling of like butterflies.
I'm Danielle Robay, and this is Bookmarked by Reese's Book Club, the new podcast from Hello Sunshine and iHeart Podcasts. Every week I sit down with your favorite book lovers, authors, celebrities, book talkers, and more to explore the stories that shape us, on the page and off. I've been reading every Reese's Book Club pick, deep diving book talk theories, and obsessing over book-to-screen casts for years. And now, I get to talk to the people making the magic. So if you've ever fallen in love with a fictional character, or cried at the last chapter, or passed a book to a friend saying, you have to read this podcast is for you. Listen to Bookmarked by Reese's Book Club on the iHeartRadio app, Apple Podcasts, or wherever you get your podcasts.
You know who it is, Brandon Kyle Goodman. But this Pride Month, call me Messy Mother. On my podcast, Tell Me Something Messy, I'm diving into all the juicy stories and sizzling hot tea that'll make you want to live your life liberated and free. Nothing is off the table for our messy kikis, be it cringy dates, best sex practices, family drama, or cultivating self-love. Plus, I'll be joined by star-studded guests like T.S. Madison.
How can we not judge ourselves?
You just gotta tell yourself, like, girl, how old are you, bitch? And I love me a lot because
Oh, you do?
Bitch, I love these motherfucking back rolls. What are this? Back rolls.
Back rolls. And dragging messy stories out of guests like the one and only Katya.
I also got into the habit of wearing butt plugs to the gym.
Tell me about this.
Well, and I also work out with butt plugs in quite a bit because, like,
tell me everything.
Well, it's just first it feels good.
Yes.
And then second, it's like my little secret.
TMI, please tell me more. Every week we'll create a compassionate space to share the fullness of who we are. Ooh, I can't wait to get messy with you. Listen to Tell Me Something Messy on the iHeartRadio app, Apple Podcasts, or wherever you listen to podcasts.
Show me how good it can get today, God, and show the rest of the world what we already know. It can't get no better than being hella black, hella queer, and hella Christian. My name is Joseph Reeves. I am the creator and host of Hella Black, Hella Queer, Hella Christian, a fully black, fully queer, fully human, fully divine podcast that explores society, culture, and the intersections of faith and identity. Listen to Hella Black, Hella Queer, Hella Christian to hear conversations about what it means to sound, the way you look.
I think what I've had to make peace with is that every iteration of my voice is given to me by God, and I love it.
Books that validated our identity.
The library now for me is a safe space as someone who is writing books that they're trying to take off of shelves.
And how we, as Black queer folks, relate to our Christianity. Listen to Hella Black, Hella Queer, Hella Christian on the iHeartRadio app, Apple Podcasts, or wherever you get your podcasts.
The American West with Dan Flores is the latest show from the Meat Eater Podcast Network, hosted by me, writer and historian Dan Flores, and brought to you by Velvet Buck. This podcast looks at a West available nowhere else. Each episode, I'll be diving into some of the lesser-known histories of the West. I'll then be joined in conversation by guests such as Western historian Dr. Randall Williams and best-selling author and Meat Eater founder Stephen Ranella.
I'll correct my kids now and then where they'll say when cave people were here. And I'll say, it seems like the Ice Age people that were here didn't have a real affinity for caves.
So join me starting Tuesday, May 6th, where we'll delve into stories of the West and come to understand how it helps inform the ways in which we experience the region today.
Listen to The American West with Dan Flores on the iHeartRadio app, Apple Podcasts, or wherever you get your podcasts.
What happens when we come face to face with death?
My truck was blown up by a 20-pound anti-tank mine.
My parachute did not deploy.
I was kidnapped by a drug cartel.
I just remember everything getting dark. I'm dying.
When we step beyond the edge of what we know.
To open our consciousness to something more than just what's in that Western box.
And return.
I clinically died. The heart stopped beating. Which I was dead for 11.5 minutes.
My name is Dan Bush. My mission is simple: to find, explore, and share these stories.
I'm not a victim, I'm a survivor.
You're strongest when you're the most vulnerable.
To remind us what it means to be alive.
Not just that I was the guy that cut his arm off, but I'm the guy who was smiling when he cut his arm off.
Alive Again, a podcast about the fragility of life, the strength of the human spirit, and what it means to truly live. Listen to Alive Again on the iHeartRadio app, Apple Podcasts, or wherever you listen to your favorite shows.
You can't let the urge to sing your favorite songs while you're driving distract you from that truck drifting toward your lane or that lane-splitting biker creeping up beside you. Fortunately, every Hyundai offers advanced safety features that can alert you to potential dangers around you.
And Hyundai has over 130 IIHS Top Safety Awards since 2006. IIHS Top Safety Awards include Top Safety Pick and Top Safety Pick Plus awards to Hyundai vehicles from 2006 to 2025.
All right. So, Steve, back to the strawberry letter. This is part 3, by the way.
Part 3 of a letter of a 7-year-old that ain't got no home training, behavioral problems, a funky attitude. When her godmother went and picked her up to take her to a party for her sick friend, got to the party. Now, her friend wasn't really sick. Her friend knew what was going to happen at the party and decided she wasn't going over to the party. Let me take somebody else to the party. Take this little crazy, have them go over here and show out. And that's exactly what she did. Took a little crazy over there, insulted the girl's hair, talked about the decoration and everything. Now, I can't get no cake. Now, I done drove you way over here. Now, we back at the house. The little girl come in the house just cussing everybody out. Cause you know, when you got a nasty child that has spicy personality and behavioral problems, ain't they unattractive children? Ain't they though? I don't care how cute the baby is. Once they got a spicy personality and behavior problem, they're ugly little kids then. That's when you start finding something wrong with the kids. You look just like your daddy.
Yeah.
Sitting up here, you ugly. Sitting up in here, you look just like your grandmother. Care for her either. And she done took a little ugly out of the house insulting people like she cute. 7-year-old little heifer got behavioral problems and a spicy personality. You can beat spice out of a child. You can kick the spice right out of their...
Yeah, come on.
You ain't got to have behavioral problems. No, you be quiet, Shirley. You sit up here talking about go to therapy. I never went to therapy. I had a spicy personality and I had behavioral problems. All of it at the same time. Slick Harvey got rid of all of that. In 9 whoopings. I no longer had a spicy attitude.
No more spice at all.
And I didn't have no behavioral problems. Because my daddy, Slick Harvey, we ain't had no money for therapy. You're not going down there, laying on the white folk couch with no legal pad, sharing your problems. I'm going to beat you until you straighten your stupid up. Look at me now. Look at me. I had behavioral problems. My aunt, I studied. He beat me till I started stuttering. Now, saying she's done with your daughter for good. She denounced her title as the godmother of my child. Because it ain't really no title. I ain't the godmother no more. They probably glad her little ugly gone. Now we can have some party.
God, we'll be back with more of the Harvey Morning Show. You're listening to the Steve Harvey Morning Show.
You know who it is, Brandon Kyle Goodman. But this Pride Month, call me Messy Mother. On my podcast, Tell Me Something Messy, I'm diving into all the juicy stories and sizzling hot tea that'll make you want to live your life liberated and free. Nothing is off the table for our messy kikis. Plus, I'll be joined by star-studded guests like T.S. Madison and dragging messy stories out of guests like the one and only Katya. Ooh, I can't wait to get messy with you. Listen to Tell Me Something Messy on the iHeartRadio app, Apple Podcasts, or wherever you listen to podcasts.
Show me how good it can get today, God, and show the rest of the world what we already know. It can't get no better than being hella black, hella queer, and hella Christian. My name is Joseph Reeves. I am the creator and host of Hella Black, Hella Queer, Hella Christian, a fully black, fully queer, fully human, fully divine podcast from iHeartMedia. To Hella Black, Hella Queer, Hella Christian on the iHeartRadio app, Apple Podcasts, or wherever you get your podcasts.
If you've ever wondered what diseases, medieval pee tests, and cocktails have in common, you're in the right place.
On our show, This Podcast Will Kill You, we explore the wild world of diseases, their history, biology, and impact today. Vaccines are in part a victim of their own success. They have been so effective in preventing disease and death that we take them for granted.
Mm-hmm. New episodes drop every Tuesday on the Exactly Right Network.
Listen to This Podcast Will Kill You on the iHeartRadio app, Apple Podcasts, or wherever you get your podcasts.
Money doesn't have to be complicated. It just has to make sense. Hey, it's Victoria Devine from the She's on the Money podcast. I know talking about money can feel intimidating. Trust me, with the right tips, anyone can take control of their finances. Let me help you take the stress out of managing your finances and provide you with the tools to thrive. From down under to the US, I'll show you how to make your money work harder for you, no matter your goals. Search for She's on the Money now on the free iHeart app or wherever you get your podcasts.
So what happened at Chappaquiddick? Well, it really depends on who you talk to.
There are many versions of what happened in 1969 when a young Ted Kennedy drove a car into a pond
and left a woman behind to drown.
Chappaquiddick is a story of a tragic death and how the Kennedy machine took control. Every week, we go behind the headlines and beyond the drama of America's royal family.
Listen to United States of Kennedy starting June 30th on the iHeartRadio app, Apple Podcasts, or wherever you get your podcasts.
This is an iHeart podcast.